It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back, you beautiful souls. Wherever you find yourself in the universe, that sound means one thing and one thing only. We're about to enter the final frontier, and we're joined by our resident space expert, outreach astronomer, Dr. Dan. And today we're asking what I assume is going to be one of the dumbest questions he has ever answered. You can say the question sucks, okay? You are more than welcome, but I need to know this. If space is a vacuum, where is it sucking to? What's going on?
So we need to reframe the question a little bit. Basically, so space is a vacuum. What that means is that there's very little air. There are very few particles in space. So there's no pressure, which gives us the impression that it's sucking. There's no such force as a sort of sucking force. Like if a hole opens up in the side of an aeroplane or a spaceship, you see in the movies that everything rushes towards the hole.
That's because there's air particles there to move.
So there's a wind. So the air on the inside wants to get out. So there's a wind blowing out. There's no force sucking from the outside, right? So it's the pressure on the inside trying to equalize with the pressure on the outside.
So then, let me put it to you this way, and again, it might be a silly question. Earth has air particles, space does not. So now you've got a difference in pressures. How do we keep our planet, our air together? Is it all just gravity? What else? Is there anything else at play there?
Yeah, it's gravity. So essentially, the same thing that's holding us onto the ground is this gravitational force pulling us towards the center of the Earth. That pulls air down, and the pressure that we feel, air pressure, is essentially the weight of all of the air sitting in a column on top of us. So we're feeling air pushing down on us.
Yeah. Suddenly I'm feeling my heart racing. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on us right now, man. For you especially, representing the whole scientific world right now. Obviously, we love to approach space from the perspective of sci-fi action movies that we see on the big screen. What happens, we've seen so many scenes like that where a spacesuit protects a person, which seems crazy that you're exposed to that environment and that just material, obviously very strong material, is protecting you. But what would happen to us if that material was removed? And could you survive in space by holding your breath?
No.
Damn it.
So again, this is the pressure thing, right? So we're at a certain pressure here, at our air pressure. There's no pressure in space. So that difference is the problem. What a spacesuit does is it's more than just material, right? There are about 5 different layers, all doing different things. There's water in there keeping you warm, and there's
a bit of urine in there, probably.
I'm sure. I mean, so there's a lot going on in a spacesuit. Basically, it's a small spaceship, which is shaped like a human, which you put on, right? It's a lot more than just a piece of clothing. It's a proper suit.
So your hoodie ain't going to help you in the vacuum of space. Is there a place anywhere in space, a reality where it exists, that there is actually a vacuum in the way that we kind of perceive it in our mind?
So a vacuum with an area of space where there's no air. Outer space has very little air. On Earth we can make vacuums in chambers, vacuum chambers, but we can get down to like I think it's about 100 particles per cubic centimeter. So like 100 particles in an area that big. Space has got about like a few particles in a cubic meter. So there's very few particles in space.
Them some lonely particles, man.
That's about as good as we can do out of space.
And especially in an infinite universe as well. Thank you so much. I hope you haven't completely destroyed your intellectual quote for the rest of today. But you can let us know if you've got any burning questions relating to space and the final frontier. Please pose them for us. We've got a genius on the couch here, and we'll answer them next week.